My name is Justin Rollins, and I'm here in the very famous kitchen of legendary Kim Nelson from Daisy Cakes. Kim, thank you for allowing me. This is out of my wheelhouse. Absolutely out of my
Is
wheelhouse.
it really?
It is. I'm holding one of these for the first time.
But how much
Ever.
does it weigh, would you say?
What is that? A pound?
Oh, maybe? I don't know.
I don't know, something like that.
I bet-
I'm good at that kind of stuff, but
I know.
I'm usually on the opposite end. But today we're gonna delve into some of this, and like I said, this is an honor for me because you were a small business owner at one time, and now you have grew Daisy Cakes over the years, and it's expanded nationwide, and should I say worldwide?
No, just nation.
Nationwide. But wow, what a journey. So you just had a dream and you went with it, right?
I had a dream and I went with it, and it worked out great. And it's been just an absolute joy to get to do all the things I've gotten to do as a result of one, Daisy Cakes, and two,
Wow.
having been on Shark Tank.
Wow.
And having Barbara Corcoran as a business partner. It is just, you can't even, it's beyond things you can even dream of, because
Right.
you don't ever think, you don't even think about things that have happened that would
Right,
happen,
right.
about the TV shows and meeting, famous people and getting to be a part of such a huge TV show that's had such a tremendous impact on so
Right,
many people.
Right. The people that's probably just applied the list is what? In the millions. This is what, the cliche what movies are made of. This is the American dream. What started, I'm sure, in this kitchen? Your dream?
In this kitchen. Although, can I just give a little disclaimer, is that we've been living in this house for a year. It's been under construction, and the last thing that's going to get done is this kitchen, which is why it looks a little on the rustic side, because by this time next year, of course, it'll be finished. It's a little worn and dated, but that's okay.
But the dream started here, where we're standing, and then it just grew like wildfire. So
For 15 years.
For 15 years. I mean, what a journey. Did you have anything in mind, like this is where I wanted to be, or did it just keep growing? Did you have this like long-term plan? I guess you can't predict like Shark Tank, right?
No, you can't. And you talk about a long-term plan. If you ever met anybody who flies by the seat of their pants, who never has a plan, I am the person who never has a plan. I might have an idea, but it's going to explode and go into a million different directions before I get back to that's what we were going to do.
Wow. Literally, it starts with a cake. Basically, you put a rocket on this cake, and it just went. I mean, that's when
rocket on the cake.
That's when business picked up Shark Tank, and then you're on the Today Show. You're on the Food Network with Rachel Ray. You're on several magazines. I mean, it's just, how was the business with doing all the publicity?
It was so much fun.
Okay, so that wasn't like an extra level of stress. That was just so much.
I never felt stress.
Well,
I always felt, pinch me, how is this happening?
Wow. Okay, so.
Can I tell you something great? So one morning, this is such a vivid memory of mine. I had the first time I got to be on QVC. I got to be on QVC within the kitchen with David.
Okay.
Which is just so lucky.
Right.
That's what happened.
Wow.
And then again, after that, it was several more times of being on QVC and selling the cakes. But one morning, I had gotten home at 1:30 a.m., driving home from Charlotte after having been on QVC, drove home, got up the next morning, got somebody ready for school, went back to bed, came back downstairs at 10:30 a.m. My phone was ringing, and it was Barbara. And she said, "Can you come to New York? I want you to be on," this is when Anderson Cooper had his morning talk show.
Wow.
"I want you to be on Anderson Cooper with me tomorrow." And I was like, oh my gosh. So I got a flight, drove back up to Charlotte, less than 12 hours later.
Wow.
Back in the Charlotte airport, flew to New York, spent the night with Barbara, and the next morning we went down to the CNN to film with other sharks and some other entrepreneurs who'd been on to film the Anderson Cooper talk show.
So you're just like a ping pong.
It was so fun.
That's the thing. You're getting to do what you love to do. So when did you start baking? You with your grandmother?
Yes.
So
yes.
That's very early age?
Very, like sitting on my knees on a stool in her kitchen.
Wow.
Making a mess like my grandson made this past weekend.
Wow. So like this. So this is in your blood. So Was there any other time in your life did you want to do anything else, or did you just want to be a baker? And in the food industry, was there any other thing you wanted to do, or was this it?
I would say, even though at the time I might not have realized it, I knew I always loved to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved to be a part of I was the social director of my sorority at Wofford.
Okay.
So I was really good at that kind of thing, of the planning of events or parties and that
Right.
kind of stuff. And then my parents wanted me to go to law school, and that's the last thing in the world I wanted to do.
Okay.
And so right out of college, my friend Sophie and I started a catering business.
Wow.
And even in college, I worked for Bison Sun Catering, so we do big events at the auditorium here. And then it's just where I felt so comfortable, in the kitchen. And then I think for those of us who are in the food business, what we love so much are the accolades that come from your hard work. Like, people appreciate it and they enjoy it, and they, it's
Right.
I guess you would say it's an ego thing, but it really is just so
Everybody likes that validation.
It feels good.
Yeah. You got to have a little bit of that. That a compliment goes a long way. The accolades that's what we do this for. I know that we won the best of this year as a training department, and that made it all worth it. That just gives a little bit back to you. You coming in, you're putting the reps in over and over. So yeah, that means everything a lot of times.
And people see the results from when they do what you show them to do. And then for me, I think it's like a clean plate or seconds.
Exactly.
Or my family texting me, "Oh my gosh, those tenderloin biscuits you sent home with us, so much better than gas station food," that kind of thing. So it really is.
You've never heard this because it's from me, but I did try your cake one time and it was life changing. So I have had it. So yeah, somebody let me try it. They did not let me have a whole slice. They let me try it. I only got to try it, but I was like, I've got to get a daisy cake. But that was amazing because I'm a cake person. I was telling someone today, because in preparation for this, where I was coming here, that if I see a cake, I literally will start sweating. Like, I cannot be around it. So if I go to the grocery store, I've got to walk by it, and I'm in the wrong line because I love cake so much. I would have probably died when I was 25 if I was in your line of work, because I couldn't.
Oh no, I can cure you. After a week or two of being in the trenches and up to your armpits and flour, sugar, butter, you will never eat another bite of cake.
Maybe I need that detox, but I don't know, because I love cakes. And I tried yours, and I will say it is the top of the line, absolute top of the line.
And they really are still hand sifted, made from scratch. The icing is butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar, vanilla, or butter and powdered sugar and cocoa and milk. It's just, there's not a bunch of gross stuff. We don't get it out of a bucket or anything.
I could taste the difference. It was like there was nothing, processed or fake about this. It was the real deal, and just that bite. So that's my personal accolade towards you for that. So I will say that's one of the best cakes I've ever had, and I love cake. With All Elite Talk, all this is, we try and tie in the community of Spartanburg and people that help shape Spartanburg what it is, and obviously you are a cornerstone. A lot of people, I'm sure, like I've used the term American Dream, follow it, and that's what we do. We get people in here. Jose can vouch for it. You get in and you get a goal, and you put the time in, you put the reps in, and you've done that. So people can look at your website, look at your store. I think it's tremendous. Started something very early, and you stuck with it, and you have made a very successful, not a career, but a life out of it. You took the necessary steps to do what you needed to do. And that's what the business we're in. We're not just about counting push-ups or getting you through a workout. We want to get you in the mindset of doing what's best for you. You know what I mean? Whether that's changing your career path or getting in the place you needed to be. It's not necessarily just staying somewhere to collect a paycheck.
Imagine the misery.
Oh, no, that's it. We're trying to get people to, hey, there's stories out there you can follow. There's people, I'm sure you've had times where you've had to weather the storm a little bit. It wasn't all, it's a roller coaster. But when the time came for you to make that next step to get to this next level, you already put so much work and put such a foundation. You're prepared for it. And that's why you were able to handle it, because you've already done all your work in the kitchen. You were ready to, now let's take this to next level. So is that it in a nutshell, I would say, right?
It is, and
So-
I think also it comes down to, do you want to live with taking the risk, or do you want to live with the regret that
That's
comes from
perfect.
not taking the risk?
That's perfect.
And I think for me, I'm a risk taker,
Mhm.
and I'm glad I am, because I certainly don't want to be one of those, you're not sitting around thinking, oh my gosh, if I'd only done this or if I'd only done that. I don't want to live my life like that either. Never have.
Right.
I always wanted a good adventure. And that's over the years of Daisy Cakes, we'd always wondered, we meaning Barbara and her team, and here with Mom and Daddy and everything,
Mhm.
what if we had another place to bake and ship from? We thought about that for years, and we pondered it. And at some point I just decided, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go and I'm going to find a place. So in 2017, I have a friend who lives out in California. I went to visit with her and look for a possibility of a bakery that might work there. And then, but it's really expensive in California.
Right,
Rent is
right.
expensive. And the traffic to get from point A to point B, 17 miles might take you over an hour, which I experienced. And I thought, oh, that would drive me insane. Regardless of how beautiful the weather is, I couldn't,
Right.
I'm not.
You're spending all your time in the car.
I'm not equipped for that. So I looked into a place in Las Vegas, and that was Labor Day weekend of 2017. And I found what would be a great commissary kitchen. I found what would be a great area to live that was just in close proximity where I could work.
Right.
And then in 2019, I loaded up the van, and we loaded up a FedEx freight truck, and I moved to Las Vegas.
Wow.
And we opened a second location.
So how long were you in Las Vegas?
I was there for 4 years.
Wow. Okay.
And I tell you, if I could have convinced my children to move out there with me, I would still be there.
Oh,
I only ever lived in Spartanburg.
Yeah.
And I told my husband before I married him, I'm never leaving Spartanburg. He's
Right.
from Philadelphia. So I don't care how good the food is. I'm not leaving my mom and daddy. I'm
Right.
an only child. I'm not moving. And I went to Las Vegas, and I fell in love with it. And just such a beautiful place. And what was so crazy is right after I moved there, I was there in April of 2019. First, right after that, my father passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So
It was awful. So my mother was here in the house by herself, even though the bakery's out there. Still, she was here alone. And then shortly thereafter, we all know what happened, COVID. And I was literally on the phone with moving companies because I knew my butt was coming back to Spartanburg, because
Right.
how are we going to stay in business? And then the biggest explosion of all with Daisy Cake sales happened because people were at home ordering stuff online,
Right.
and they were ordering Daisy Cake like they've never ordered Daisy Cakes before
Right.
for 2 years.
Wow.
It was insane.
So
And if I hadn't been in Vegas, we would have never been able to keep up with the orders. So we were baking and shipping from here and baking and shipping from Vegas to the 11 western states out there. And so it was just the perfect situation for
Wow.
us to be in
Wow.
for what was so debilitating and a loss for so many companies and
Right.
businesses. But for us, man, it was the cat's meow.
Wow.
Meow. Yeah, it was great.
And so that leads us to present time now. Do you still have your Vegas?
No,
Okay. Okay. So-
I closed Vegas. My mother passed away in 22, and after that, and I was still out there. She was a part of it
Right.
from day one,
Right.
and it just wasn't. My heart wasn't in it anymore,
Right.
and I didn't want to be out there anymore because then also shortly thereafter I was going to have a grandson,
Okay.
and I
You
Didn't
want to be able
want- I
to, yeah,
didn't-
you
I
don't want to miss
couldn't.
that.
I couldn't
Right.
do that, and they said no way would they move there. It's okay, I understand that. So I moved everything back home. We closed the bakery there, and back to everything here being in Pauling.
It almost sounds like it was just a great chapter, and it was an ending, and you're living life to the fullest now, and everything. You're going to see your grandson, and it's just you got
And
that.
remodel Mom and Daddy's house, which I don't know if they would approve of, but they didn't like things to be changed.
I understand, but you had the big explosion, and then you're just now enjoying time with your family, your grandson, and you're overseeing the polling operations, or you're just out. You're
I
just
sold this.
you have sold it, so you are just getting to bake leisurely now, and that is. Do you still to we're going to do a little bit here, and you're going to probably get frustrated and kick me out of your house because I'm going to make such a mess. But do you miss the grind, or you feel like the chapter, you've done everything you needed to do?
I feel like I've done everything I needed to do.
That's when you can walk away and be happy.
I have no regrets. I
That is
don't, I don't
perfect.
regret anything I did or any. I just,
So there's not like anything you would say, nothing left to do. You feel like you've done it all.
I do. And I did get to be on Cutthroat Kitchen with Alton Brown, right?
Wow.
I got to be on Chopped Sweets with Scott Conant, one of my favorite chefs.
Wow.
Met so many people, famous people, Martha Stewart,
Well, you're a famous
Rachel
person
Ray,
now. Like, you can't say you
Emerald. I danced with Emerald
Look
Lagasse
at
in
that.
Miami.
So
No, I have had such an opportunity to do so many fun things, and I loved it. People tell you when you get a grandson or granddaughter, and I've got a granddaughter coming in February.
wow, congratulations.
Thank you. Nothing else matters. Our daughter just got married a year ago in Scotland, so we got to go to Scotland,
Wow.
and John and I got to spend some time in Paris, and we just got back from a 3-week trip out west. We drove, and to know that I get to do that now.
So you tied up all your loose ends, and now you're just, like I said, the American dream. If you want to,
I'm refinishing furniture.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm cooking and refinishing furniture,
Right.
which is like the most therapeutic thing to
Right.
me. Cooking, rolling dough, chopping onions, and refinishing furniture.
right.
I'm in hog heaven.
But the moral of the story is you put, and I'll go back to it, so many reps, you put so much sleepless, I would say, years involved to get to this point. To find yourself in a position where you're in, you had to work really hard to do that. And you just put so much on the front end. You're enjoying the back end of all your hard work, and you're healthy, and that's...
But here's another thing, Justin, for me. I looked forward to what was going to happen next.
Right.
I loved knowing that in February I was driving to Miami for the South Beach Wine and Food Festival, or going to Cleveland to the Fabulous Food Show, or to Chicago, or wherever I was going to be a part of something that I love to be
Right.
in that mix, right? And it was always with joy in my heart.
Right.
Always loved it. I couldn't wait to see, what are we going to get invited to next? Because
Right.
it was just a lot of being with the same kind of people who came to eat, or those of us
Right.
who like
Right.
to cook and prepare it. It was just a blessing to get
Right.
to be in, to get to do that.
Now,
And
I mean-
now I get to.
Now you're going to be going to 4K graduations, to baseball games, to
Grandparents'
Yeah,
Day.
you're just in a different arena of milestones to look forward to.
Right.
So you put so much, your fruits, you're going to pay off now.
Yeah.
That's it. So you've
For my mental well-being, because I will say it got to a point where I felt like I can't pick up another 50-pound bag of flour. It was just, I
Especially
think
when
after
COVID hit.
60 it just gets it's tough.
we got to get you on a program here.
Okay.
We got to get you on a program because you're going to be getting up and down a lot more with the grandkids. So you're going to have to. You already say y'all do biscuits.
Yes.
So
Bickets.
yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you again so much. I know you said Walford. Do you ever go back and speak to the school?
Well, I have one time, they had me come back, and I don't remember, at some point since Shark Tank, some of it's all a blur.
Okay.
But yeah, and I do speaking events too.
Okay,
so,
cool.
I just had one out in Dallas.
Oh, that's
months ago, so.
awesome. Yeah, we have a loosely based partnership with Walford. We go there and train some of the sororities and the kids. Yeah, we try and keep that relationship with the terrier country healthy.
It's important.
So it is important. Thank you again so much, Kim. We're gonna bake here.
You
a
want to
little
roll
bit.
some dough?
We're gonna roll some dough, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll get right back to it.
Okay.
We are back at All Elite Talk, and I'm Justin Rollins. This is Kim Nelson. We're going to do a little baking. And Kim, what are we making today?
We're going to make some gingerbread cookies that are a little different because we had to use Kara syrup because my husband has yet, after 5 hours, to come back from the grocery store with the molasses.
Right.
But this is going to, you know what I want you to do? I just want you to feel the exhilaration of rolling some dough. Okay?
You just tell me what, like I said, I hope you don't kick me out of here because I don't want to mess these cookies up.
Oh, no.
We should
They're
say,
going to be fine.
you're going to make it, and I'm going to try and not mess it up.
I just want you to roll it out. Now, I cut this recipe in half because it makes a lot of dough. So the key to dough is the one thing you have to do is you have to always use ice water. If it's pie dough, cookie dough, or whatever, if it calls for water, it has to be ice water.
Ice water.
It has to be ice water. And a little extra flour on my hands here. A little flour in the dough. And I always make my dough a little wetter than it should be because, again, right here, what you're doing is you are adding more flour to it, right? If you make it a little wetter, you're going to have a little, and it's easier to roll if you've got some really nice, if it's not real stiff dough. Because this is not supposed to be stiff dough. This is cookie dough. This particular cookie dough.
Got it.
I used to make these every year for the Nutcracker, the Ballet Spartanburg Nutcracker. And when I say I made them, I made like 500.
Wow.
Gingerbread cookies every year, big ones.
So this is...
Okay, now to roll dough, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to let you do it.
All right.
Put some flour on here.
Okay.
You want a really good, I like a rolling pin that does this.
Okay.
But you're going to push and pull. So you don't do this. You push and pull, and you pick it up. You have a nice little rhythm.
All right, so I'm going like diagonal with it.
Yeah,
almost.
I do, and then back, and then back, and then back.
All right, so.
Don't press hard.
All right, and then that way?
Uh-huh. Yep.
All right.
Then, yep. So you want to keep it? Uh-huh. Now, when you see how that did that?
Okay.
We're going to just put a little.
All right.
That's why we make it a little soft.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, up.
Push and pull. Push and pull.
Push.
And pull. There you go. Yep. See how it's moving?
Okay. I'm seeing that. I'm getting out of my rhythm here.
That's okay. But yeah, so you do want to keep your rhythm. You do have rhythm. Yep, you got it.
I want to keep that here.
Push and pull. Push and pull. And if it starts to get a little pull on it with your dough, we'll add a little sprinkle more.
Okay.
Fine?
It is.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll just take that right off. Hang on. A little bit more flour.
All right.
Pat it down like it never happened.
Okay. So.
Push and pull.
This way. Here.
Yep.
This
and
is.
Get a little weight right there because see how it's got a puff.
Okay. All right. So here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There we go.
Yep. And a little bit more there because you're putting a little weight on your edges, which is fine, but you got to put a little bit more weight in the middle so you don't have that big puff.
Got out.
And that's me. Sorry.
Okay. This is satisfying, so to speak. I could see.
It's nice to have a little bit more room. I know Jose had to set up the cameras, but yeah. Now I'm going to what I like to do. Is a little foil on a sheet pan. You get one out. How'd that feel? Feel good?
It felt good.
You did. That's a very good job. Most people peel the dough up, which is just not how you do it. Just not supposed to peel your dough up. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little nonstick spray. Don't tell my daughter. She gets so angry when I do use this.
Right.
Now, the great thing about this recipe is you can cook it at for about 8 to 10 minutes to make your cookies, or you can make ornaments.
Oh, okay.
So you can cook it on 250 for an hour and make ornaments with the, and you got to remember to poke a little hole in it for the string.
Remember that back in my elementary school days.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember we had gingerbread Christmas at Pine Street, and I used to make those. Now I'm trying to find a cookie cutter. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is dip that and dip that. We're just going to make cookies like this.
Okay, cool.
And when you have another thing you want is a lot of flour underneath there, and that way it won't stick. So, see that got a little,
Too thin or?
It's okay. You're just going to put that in there and turn it.
Okay.
Give it a little twist and turn.
Right there?
Yep. And we'll just go ahead and keep cutting, but keep dipping and turning. And I'm going to find the...
Just anywhere, okay.
And what we can do, yep, just like that. And then we'll take these up. Put a little flour under my spatula. That way I can get them up off we can bake them up. And these don't rise much, and they're also vegan.
Wow.
They're not gluten-free, but they are vegan. They do have Crisco in them, but there's no dairy.
So this has been a staple for the Nutcracker in Spartanburg for
Somebody
years.
still makes, I don't know what recipe they use, but this recipe is a 1/3 cup of Crisco, a cup of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of molasses, which we had to use Cara syrup, and ice water. I mean, your dry ingredients are 7 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of soda, a teaspoon of salt, and then your spices, which are allspice and ginger and cinnamon. Yeah, and you can put as much or as little as you like, depending on, some people don't like those warm spices, and some love them, so you can just put a teaspoon or two if you want.
I may have not used the real estate like I need to here.
That's okay. Yes, you would not do well at a Greek restaurant. I used to work at Sophie's parents had LeBaron Steakhouse, and we used to work up there sometimes on a Saturday when we were in college.
That is a blast from the past. LeBaron. Wow.
Yeah, so I learned to work in a restaurant with Greek people, which I love, and the fact that I love so much about you don't waste anything. You don't leave a fourth of a teaspoon of mayonnaise in the jar.
Wow.
You clean it out completely. Yeah. You don't waste anything. Her daddy would, when they were doing the, like, prepping vegetables and stuff, the ends of the celery or the ends of the carrots or the ends of the onions, all that went in to make the prime rib, which they made the best prime rib on the planet.
Yeah.
But you use all those end pieces of the garlic or whatever, and that's what you season your meat with.
Wow.
Yes. Don't waste anything. You don't waste anything at all in a Greek restaurant. That's why Greek people, I think, are so successful in the restaurant business.
I agree.
Because they don't waste anything. So we have these little doodles here, and they're going to taste delicious. Now what you do, once that's done, another reason you want some loose dough is because now you're going to do it again, right? You're going to put it all back together.
And then do my...
You're going to do it again.
Okay,
because you had looser dough, so it's not going to be stiff. It's easy to roll. That was easy to roll. You did a great job. I'm impressed.
There. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be, but you just go maybe 11 o'clock and then 5 o'clock and then 1 o'clock and then 7 o'clock and then noon and then 6 and then 9 and then 3.
But you're push-pulling.
Push and pull. Yeah, otherwise you'll wrap your dough around your rolling pin, and you don't want to do that, ever. That's a sign of a rookie.
I am.
But you've got great guidance right here, because I have literally made tens of thousands of these things, because we used to make them for the cakes too. So I would make 4,000 of the little ones.
Wow.
It took a few days. And then I would freeze them.
4,000.
4,000. Yeah, because, yes, 1,000 cakes, 4 cookies on a cake, yes. Or 8,000 if we did 4. I don't remember. I'm not good at math. But, yes, I made thousands of every Christmas. Okay, start rolling, Justin.
All right, I'm going to. I got you.
Push and pull, boom, boom, boom. Yep, you don't have to turn it when you roll. Just straight up. Yep, 1 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Yeah, just think about it as, you're going to roll opposite each time. Yep. This good.
I
can't believe it. You'll be able to roll biscuits, pie dough, anything using this technique.
I will. I'm gonna.
You learned in this messy kitchen.
You know what? I'm gonna say I've learned from a master, and I can bake biscuits for my daughter now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, biscuits. Yes. You'll have to come back and we'll make biscuits. You should bring her.
We will do it.
But can we wait till I get my new stove and we have the ceilings aren't scraped?
I think this is great.
Look at that. That's perfect.
I'm trying.
I'm not kidding. I am impressed.
I appreciate it.
How about that, Jose? That's good, don't you think? I don't know what they're going to taste like using Kara syrup and molasses.
I'm sure they're going to be fantastic.
That's good. You're good.
Is that it?
Yes. So now you see how that was a little puffy, right? You just got to love on it a little bit, right? Oh, that's good.
Cool.
All right. Now get to cutting.
So now I'll do a little bit better with my planning here.
Yes. Same thing when you're making biscuits. Now, what I will tell you when you're making biscuits is you want them touching each other.
Okay.
My grandmother put hers all right next to each other because you want them loving up against each other. So you don't want gaps. I do see people who put the gap, with spaces in between, even Emerald Lagasse, but we always cook ours together. And now my grandson Bishop and I, we cook ours together.
Should I go even closer in what I'm going?
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, and just you want to touch your, if it's a cookie cutter, which we don't know where ours are, or if it's a glass or whatever you're using. Oh, you know what? I'm so crazy because look, I have these two. This is what my grandson and I use.
Oh, nice.
The actual cookie.
Nice.
Takes me a minute. Delayed reaction. And so then you can take the little thing and just pop these out too, so we can make these little bitty ones. Because you don't get a lot of rise on these because you only have a little bit of baking soda in them, so they don't take up a lot of room. So how about that?
Look at that.
So we can just use these little ones too.
So you want me to get this one?
Yeah,
here
use that. It might not be completely round like a glass, a little wonky, but yeah.
That works.
And then you still do your little dip in flour. And you'll learn. You will make it, because I think you're probably a bit of a perfectionist.
I'm really not.
You want professional, or you want results.
I
though, right?
I do try and get results. Now, sometimes it's a little messy how we get there, but we're going to get there.
Yeah, but see, these are good. And then just boom, boom. And then we're going to bake them off, and they're going to be delicious. And again, like I said, with the seasonings, you can put as much or little as you like.
Okay.
If you really love cloves, which I don't, you could go a little heavy on the cloves. If you like cinnamon, go heavy on the cinnamon. If you don't have cloves, they are very expensive, then just use some ginger and some cinnamon. And also another thing, if you have seasonings like that, spices, the ones you don't use very often, keep them in your freezer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to mess this one up
That's
a little
okay.
bit. So you can keep that in the freezer, and then they're just good to go.
And you can make these ahead of time and freeze them too.
Oh, wow.
These cookies. Oh, yeah, they freeze beautifully. Because I would usually make them over Thanksgiving weekend. And then we would just keep them in an airtight container from Costco or something and then I would make boys and girls. So I would have to make so many,
Right.
2,000 boys and 2,000 girls.
Wow. But so now holidays are a little less stressful, I'm assuming.
A whole lot less stressful.
So you're not having to.
That's my husband calling. I'll be home in an hour with your molasses. Yeah, so Barbara came here once because of filming Shark Tank Update. And then David Muir from ABC News came when he was doing his Made in America segments. He came here and featured Daisy Cakes. And then there was another time when he interviewed the sharks, and he got to ask about their different businesses they had invested in, and he talks very specifically to Barbara about Daisy Cakes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because he came here and we had I know what we had. We had barbecue. We had barbecue and baked beans, and then I told him that anybody who ever came here, their rite of passage was they had to take a swig of my daddy's moonshine.
Oh, wow.
So we got out the red Solo cups and we poured just the proper small amount there down in the bottom. And he and his producer did
they like it?
They did it. I don't know. I wouldn't say they liked it. They're city boys.
There's nothing smoother than moonshine.
But yeah, they had it wasn't that what I would say pansy ass stuff that you buy in the liquor store.
This is the real deal.
It was the real deal.
This is the real deal. Is this like Dark Corner stuff or Pauline stuff?
No, I don't know. I was never privy to know where it came from. I just know when the man would come to deliver it.
Okay.
I never really got a good glimpse of him, and I never knew his name, but I knew what he was bringing when he came to town, when he came down to here.
So how should we put any more on here, or?
No, we can bake these, and then we can bake some more. I'm eager to see how they're going to turn out.
Okay.
All right, we got it on. I did 360 because this oven's a little wonky, so we're going to set a timer for 8 minutes. We'll see what happens.
All right.
And my other sheet pan is dirty, so we'll just have to wait.
We'll wait.
Yeah.
If you ever go somewhere, is there all this pressure they want a cake from you? Just say you went out to a dinner with friends or to their house.
Oh, no.
They know not to ask for a cake.
They never do ask for a cake. No, I don't think they do.
Maybe they're just...
I might take one.
Yeah.
The in-laws like carrot cake, but they never asked me to bring one.
Okay.
No, they never asked me to.
I would...
And if I say, can I bring something, they'll say, oh, you don't have to, or just bring whatever you want. But they never, I don't think anybody's
Well, you got
ever
true
said
friends then.
that.
You got true friends that they're not asking because they know that's your job, so to speak.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. That's a very interesting question. I don't think I've ever been asked that. Bring a cake.
That's surprising. That to me, that's surprising. But that shows you got.
Because another thing too, my thing is I prefer to cook savory. I prefer cooking to baking.
Yeah.
I'm a good baker, yes, but I really love like that tenderloin that we made the other night or stuff like that. Or Adam frying the turkey for Thanksgiving, and I did all the injecting and the rubbing of the good stuff on it. I like that part. I like that savory aspect of it.
What's the best thing you cook? Your go-to if you had to cook one thing. If this is far out, but if a prisoner said, "I want my last meal," what would you give them?
Roasted chicken.
I
roast a really good chicken.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, a really good chicken. I make really good gravy. I made a beef gravy with the drippings from the tenderloin the other day, with a little red wine and a beef stock.
Wow, we're gonna have to stop. I've not even had lunch yet.
I got soup for us.
We're good.
And a pot of rice. But I really, and I don't eat meat, but I make really good collards. I made vegetables.
So you didn't have any of the tenderloin?
I don't eat. 9 years, no meat. I eat
Okay.
fish, but I don't eat meat. And I eat a little bit of cheese, but mostly no dairy.
So you don't have any, you just have fish chicken? Or no?
I don't eat chicken.
You don't even chicken? Just fish. Okay. So 9 years, was that just,
I just decided.
Okay.
I'm really weird like that. Like I'll make a decision.
I know
And
a
I'm
few
never
people,
going to eat something again, and I really will never. I will never eat it again.
you don't miss steak or anything?
I don't mind cooking with it, and I don't mind. You know what I miss? If I could eat anything, if I decided to eat meat, which I won't, because it'll make me sick. I'm gonna make my stomach hurt. I would eat a cheeseburger from the Spice, mustard and slaw.
The Spice has some good cheeseburgers.
That's what I would eat. Yeah. I swear, if I could eat,
Yeah.
if I decided, okay, I'm gonna eat meat again, I wouldn't let that be the first thing because it would make me really sick. But
Oh, you would get sick for sure.
I would eat all because I like all onion rings. I like slaw, and then I like a cheeseburger with mustard slaw. My mouth is watering right now.
We shouldn't even talk about that.
Just thinking.
Yeah.
But I love another thing I was going to say is I used to love chicken livers. One of my favorite things, and we would go to Karen, and my daddy and I would always call ahead and order 2 orders of chicken livers because they'd run out. So they'd let you call ahead back in the day, and so they would reserve you 2. And I enjoyed that very much, the chicken livers, and I loved cooking chicken livers. And I love chicken livers.
So was this like you just woke up and decided to be vegan, or was it something you was researching, or because I've heard that going both ways with some people. They went the vegan route, and they really no turning back.
We were in Cleveland at the Fabulous Food Show, and we had gone to one of Michael Simon's restaurants. I don't remember if it was Lolita or Lola. I don't remember which one, but anyway, of course I would eat overindulge, of course, in everything. And then that night, Adam and I, we were sharing a hotel room, my son, and he said, the next morning he said, "You were snoring like crazy last night." And I said, "Really? I was snoring?" And he said, "Yes, you were snoring." And I decided then, after, I don't remember if it was after, because that was in November. I don't remember if it was after Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I decided I was never going to eat meat again.
Wow.
And I never did.
Wow.
Because I felt like, even though I was very healthy and did running and all that kind of stuff too, I just decided, well, maybe, I don't need to eat that anymore. I felt like I'd eaten every innard there was. I loved smoked sweetbreads from Gramercy Tavern. I've had sheep brain or lamb's brain ravioli at Babbo. I mean, I've eaten so much stuff, liver this and liver that, and I just decided that I had enjoyed it, but I wasn't going to eat it anymore.
That's interesting that you were able to just...
Yeah, I did. Just stopped.
There's no more truer statement ever than you are what you eat. I know when I'm super busy and the nights get away from me and you're forced to, I know we gotta get that, but they're forced to eat out, you just get so, like, you just feel horrible.
You did feel horrible. It's so bad for you.
Yeah.
It's so bad for you. And they're going to need a little bit longer. That's okay. No, I think so too. And then my children cook. Mm-hmm. My daughter cooks. My son and his wife, they take turns. But they know the difference. They've never had macaroni and cheese out of a box. Mm-hmm. They only want their grandmommies, which the pressure was on to make, and I made it, and it was delicious. The pressure was on to make her mashed potatoes.
But you don't eat the macaroni and cheese anymore.
I did eat a corner.
Okay.
I'll eat a bite or 2.
Okay.
I do, but for the most part, I don't eat any gluten. And for the most part, I eat very little cheese. But if my husband ever got here with the cheese for the cornbread, I would eat the cornbread with some cheese. I'm not going to eat cornbread with cheese every day. I'm not going to eat macaroni every day. I'll eat a deviled egg every now and then, but I don't even eat
But
eggs.
As far as meat, you wouldn't go back.
No, absolutely not. No.
Okay.
I have arthritis, and I think that probably adds to the
flares it
and
up,
the
right?
dairy too, and even chocolate. So I will eat a bite of ice cream, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I prefer salty, and I can put a hurting on a bag of potato chips.
I like potato chips.
And a Corona.
Yeah. That's your go-to vice.
Yeah.
What's your favorite chip?
I like Utz's. Which are I don't even know, but but I'll tell you another one. I love the Voodoo, is it Zapp's Voodoo chips?
This is
They're
so
really
weird.
spicy.
You're not gonna believe me, but I went to Food Line in Charlotte Saturday night, and we got 2 bags of chips. We got those Voodoos you just said, and salt and vinegar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I swear, that's the 2 bags of chips.
Aren't they the best?
Yeah,
they are the absolute best.
I could not quit eating those salt and vinegar.
And they turn your mouth inside out, man. They're so salty, right? Your lips are like
They were really, I said, I'm gonna throw these away just where I gotta quit eating them.
Mm-hmm.
I could not stop eating them. I didn't try the voodoo. The kids had those, but they got those two. I didn't know what they were.
The packaging's so pretty.
It is. It does. They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
They know what
my
they're
gosh.
doing.
But the heat to them, I really love. I love the heat. And I also love, they don't make them anymore, I don't believe, but my mother used to buy the large bags of rippled Food Line potato chips. They were hands down and I would
Really?
eat a bag every other day.
Okay.
When I was down here working,
Yeah.
I would drink a Coke Zero and eat a half a bag with some tuna.
Yeah.
So I'd eat my tuna and a half a bag of freaking potato chips.
No,
Because I had no self-control.
and I love Coke Zeros myself.
You know what? They smell really good. I don't know what they're going to taste like, but you're going to find out because you're going to have to take some home with you. Let's
Okay.
go over here and let them cool.
All right.
Here, I tell you what, just pick up one of those little bitty ones.
Right here.
Yeah, because they have some. Just
Okay.
see what they taste like. It's the same exact ingredients minus molasses, so you're not going to have that depth of flavor that molasses
like it.
is going to give you.
Mm-hmm. I like it because it's not overbearing sweet.
No, they're not. That is.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that because that is so true. I mean, in all of this dough,
Yeah.
and there's still some in there. It was, because we cut it in half, so it was a half a cup of brown sugar
Mm-hmm.
and 3/4 of the syrup.
Yeah. I'm not instantly feeling guilty.
And it's a lot of flour.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a lot of other stuff besides, it's not sugar forward.
Good texture. I mean, everything tastes very
Mhm.
good. So I really like it.
And so easy. Do you have a mixer?
I do. I actually have the stuff. I just need to start
Yeah.
using the
Yeah.
stuff.
It makes it easier, right? Whatever. If I've got an orbital sander and I've got a paint sprayer. I've got all the kind of stuff I need to do my furniture refinish. I've got the proper kitchen tools and now I've got the proper wood refinishing tools. So it makes your life so much easier if you've got what you need
If you got the
to
stuff
do the
that
job.
makes way more efficient, it saves you a lot of time, a lot of headache. But those were really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll definitely take some home.
Oh, you're taking them all home. We
Okay,
don't eat
We're
them.
going to take them home.
We still have a little bit of pumpkin pie left that we're like doing the even up on, a little sliver.
Now, you don't eat the pumpkin pie, do you? Or no?
Yes, it's gluten free.
Okay.
It is
okay.
gluten free crust,
Okay.
but it's also it does have that whole can of milk in it. But I don't eat. I just don't. I'm only eating it because it's here. Same thing with wine. I'm not going
Right.
to drink it, but if it's in the house, I'm going to drink it.
That's
if
it.
they're Oreos, I'm not going to eat Oreos. But if my husband brings some home,
That's
I'm
what
going to eat them.
That's what I was talking about when I passed the cake. I can't not, if it's in the house, I'm going to get it.
Mhm.
I'm going to get it. So I just try not to have anything.
Don't.
Yeah.
Except for now, I wasn't going to throw that pie out because it's too damn good.
You can't throw that out. No.
No, we'll do it even up, or those little shreds of meat. I guess John will eat those, but it was just funny to hear my children talk about their meat biscuits and
That is.
how beautiful that. You'll have to come. You have to come back, and we'll cook something else,
Okay.
and we'll make sure we have.
You had my
What we need.
attention when you said barbecue. I was like,
Oh, that was from that barbecue came from.
oh, so you didn't cook it.
No, it came from. Oh no, because we were here like all day waiting on them, and they were
Oh,
late
okay, I got
getting
you,
here, and then they had to hurry up and leave to catch their flight back from Charlotte back to
Okay.
New York. No, so it was, but we gotten them. What's the place in Union? Midway.
Midway.
So we
Midway's
got
good, yeah.
Midway barbecue, and like when anybody came here to film anything, we had them cater it.
Oh,
so
cool.
they had fried fatback, and
Oh,
we
wow.
had turkey and dressing and green beans and whatever, or if
Right.
it happened to be barbecue, whatever they were having, it was all catered from Midway.
We need to do the tenderloin then.
But that beef tenderloin, I'm telling you
Wow,
what, it was beautiful.
That is. But you need something you can eat though.
Oh no, I don't care. My pleasure comes from making it.
Okay.
Concerning
Okay.
it. I know. I promise.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
that tenderloin. When you said that, my ears was like that, and then barbecue because I love barbecue.
Mhm.
I'm a big barbecue fan. Me and Jose went to Bridges Barbecue earlier in the year. He had never been there. In
Now
Shelby.
where is that?
In Shelby.
Okay, I knew I'd heard of it.
Billy Brown's favorite restaurant ever. Yeah, he would have it delivered once a week to where did he live? Montreat.
Uh-huh.
Or
Yeah.
once a week, every Friday. Billy Brown likes it.
How about that?
It's-
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've heard of Bridges. I've heard of it
What's crazy and
in
people,
Shelby.
there's two bridges. There's Austin Bridges and Red Bridges, and what's mind blowing, they both started in 1946, but they're not related, and they're still going today.
The places.
Both, how insane is that? They're both bridges, they're both barbecue, but they have nothing to do with each other. Two separate Bridges families, both decided
In Shelby.
in Shelby to do barbecue, and they're both going. But don't go to the one. That's the one. Austin's the one at the hospital. Don't go to that one. Go to the one at 74. You can't.
I'm not going.
You're not going. But if anybody asks you,
Oh no, I'll let, like we went to Mabel's barbecue in Michael Simon's place, and I would get, I think they had, anyway, I don't remember now, but they had some stuff. Because here's the thing about a restaurant too. You would say, why would you go to a barbecue restaurant if you don't eat meat? But you're going to go with other people who wanted to go there. So it's nice to have something that you can go to, and even if it's French fries or baked potato or something, or some slaw, baked beans. You want to make one more batch? Bake one more?
Let's do it.
So what I was thinking is, just put these right here. They're not hot. They're not going to burn you. But what we'll do for just a minute is we'll just lay them out on a plate, so cool a little bit. Just put them on there.
Okay.
And then we'll just pick up more and put on that. Yeah. See, I like, that looks like a little cheese wafer to me. You know how a little, and it's nice and crisp and crunchy, so you're going to get a little different textures. Even these are going to be a little crunchy.
And the molasses took the place of what?
The Cara syrup.
Oh, Cara syrup. And that took the place of what?
Molasses, which is what you're supposed to have.
Does the molasses make it the darker color? Yeah. That's what makes it darker color.
That, and I use light brown sugar because that's what I have.
Okay.
But you can use white or dark brown sugar.
Okay.
We're going to pick these up and put them on.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I go home to visit my mom, she watches The Price is Right every day. And they'll be like, and one of the prizes is Daisy cake.
It still is.
Yeah.
It still is.
Did you ever get to go on the set because of that?
No, I have been on the set, but
Did you get to spin the wheel? That's what I was going to ask.
No.
Man.
But I saw it. I walked right by it because we went in the entrance.
They wouldn't let you spin it?
The Young and the Restless is filmed there, so we got to see some of the Young and the Restless.
Really?
People.
They filmed these the same?
Yeah, it's CBS City.
Victor Neiman?
Did you see Nicholas?
I saw. No, I didn't see, but it was and this was a long time ago. This was in '97 when I ran my first marathon out to LA, and then we drove down to San Diego. We had special seating, and we couldn't, we weren't going to get called or anything, but we got to sit right near the.
So you got to watch an episode.
We got to watch a filming with Bob Barker and right behind the road.
They should give you tickets now. I mean, let you come if you got prizes on there.
Oh, this was in '97.
No, I'm
so
saying
now.
Now, I would think.
Well, that we're still recently, in the past couple of months, there's been somebody who won. I always loved it. If I said I don't turn the TV on, but if I'm in here during 11 to 12 o'clock, I will turn on Price is Right because I love Drew Carey too. I saw him at the Improv once in LA.
My friend.
That whole group of whatever they used to do.
Whose line is it? Yeah. My friend, he was a contestant as the male model when they. Did I tell you that story? Because he was on Survivor and somehow he got The Price is Right, decided they were going to have a male.
They still do have a male one.
Well,
is he on there?
He was in the top 3, and for a week he got to be on it, and they had voting, and it was hilarious because on the thing where you vote, they show their pictures. It said whatever this guy's name, London, England. The next guy, New York, and then Jay, Gaffney, South Carolina.
From Gaffney. And he didn't make it.
He didn't make it, but he got in the top 3.
Well, that's still impressive, right?
Yeah, he's just done reality. Is this all right?
Yeah, it is. I was just going to make sure you didn't have any. And it's okay. See, you want to be able to do all that good stuff with your day. You're doing them. I'm so impressed.
I'm trying.
I have people who never get that. Who can never do it. Never. They never get it.
Well, we'll call it beginner's luck.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make you some room, and we can stick those other little sugar boogers on here.
All right.
And you know the drill. Oh, yeah,
Right.
use that. Yeah, well, that's got a sharper edge. So that's going to do better.
And I'll do the Greeks.
Yeah, all the goody. Get all the goody out of there.
This is getting Justin out of his comfort zone.
I know, this is literally getting me out of my wheelhouse here.
I know, but then look at the results, right? Wow. That's exactly what, see, any extra dough gets you little circles out of it. Just a note of, I know this is a little crusty, and I'll get it, but you're never supposed to wash your rolling pin.
Okay.
So you would want to do just a little scratching, get that off, and be done, and put it back.
Okay, that is good to know.
I'm gonna put it back under here in this junk
Did it
pile.
ruin the wood? Did you wash it or what?
And it's gonna get, because of that particular one, it's gonna get up in the gears.
Oh.
Now I do have these. I bought these in Paris. I went to the Cordon Bleu in Paris and took a croissant class. Anyway, I bought, this is what you would roll croissants with, and then I bought this one too because I just like the way it looked, and I thought it was.
So you just got to open palm that, or?
Yes. And this is what they use. This is what like the French rolling thing. But for me, I just prefer one with the ball bearings in there. So just easier for me to manipulate. But that's what I did. I did the patisserie. No, boulangerie. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I took a croissant class and brioche. We made brioche and croissants.
Wow.
It was a 7-hour class. It lasted for 7 hours.
But how, did you get all you needed in the 7 hours?
Yes, but I would love to go back. Here's the thing. The croissants, you make this amazing dough and it proofs. We got to do all the work, and we had to do all the work ourselves. But then they have a machine that they run it through, and then you fold it, and then the machine runs it through and folds it. But you have the butter. See, their butter is like 90% fat. It's the finest quality butter in the world. Not like butter here. Like if you melt this butter, it's not going to have a whole bunch of water in it. But so then, that folding process is done through a machine that I can't do that with one of these. I can't get enough pressure and get it flat enough to then fold it again and then roll it again. But they let us put it through the machine, and then we got to roll them up and everything with the chocolates and all that. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
It was the best.
That sounds.
And you got the. I have it in here. Got to have. Yeah, you get.
Okay.
So you got this. You got your bag with all your everything you made. You got to take it with you. John was in hog heaven. There was an apron and a hat, and oh my gosh, it was so nice. Oh, it started like at 9 in the morning and then finished at 5 in the afternoon or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it was one of the best things I ever did.
That's the croissant capital of the world, right?
I guess so.
Paris.
And just the bread and the butter and everything, everywhere. It didn't matter where you ate. It was just going to be insane. We had this we went in this bar just to wait on John's sister because she was coming. We were going on a boat ride. And we had this little plate of cheeses. And one was hard cheese that had black peppercorns in it. I think it's the best cheese I ever put in my mouth. Again, I was in Paris. I was drinking the wine and I was eating the cheese.
But you got to.
Because it was, and then they have some restaurants you can go and they have creamed eggs, which are just eggs with homemade mayonnaise. So they're just sliced up eggs with this mayonnaise on them.
Wow.
I know, it was so good. It was so good. And I don't even remember what I had to go with it because I was like, oh, they have creamed eggs. Let's
Main course.
Yeah. But then you know what? You also walk 25,000 steps a day. All over.
It's canceling out.
You just walk everywhere.
Yes.
Because it's like being at Disney World. You're going to walk 25,000 steps a day.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, I think, for what you do is you got to be in really good shape if you want to travel. Travel well.
I tell people, train my people for longevity to do what they want to do. I train a guy that he's 84 and he likes to go on a hunting trip once a year out in South Dakota and hunt pheasants. And he's able to do that because he's able to get around. And if he didn't meet me 3 times a week, he wouldn't be out in fields in South Dakota. I can tell you that much.
No.
Yeah.
I said the same thing to John because we both have always worked out at Nautilus forever. Like we were going down in the slot canyons. It's nothing because it's ground level. We had to go down some steps. You're not. But in Sedona, going up to Cathedral Rock and the Devil's Bridge and all that, I mean, you got to climb up some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's steep.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Grand Canyon, I mean, we went way down. Of course, we didn't go all the way, but we went. It was 2 miles down and 2 miles back.
Wow.
And it was steep.
Yeah.
Like they have the donkeys or the mules or whatever to carry stuff, but you don't just get up out of your chair and go do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, traveling is
because you're
tough.
not and lugging luggage and all that.
Just at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Traveling's tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be in halfway decent shape.
Yes, and go to Atlanta and you get in at the T terminal and you got to go all the way to E.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk it because I'm going to get there 3 hours ahead of time.
Yeah.
And choose with the 8,000 restaurants they have in there.
Yes, yeah, they have some pretty good. Yes, because I don't like to get on that train because it's just too tight and germs and stuff. So
Right.
I'd rather just be walking because it's pretty.
It's time for the lightning round. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and you must answer these questions while doing arm circles.
Okay.
If your life was a movie, would it be a comedy, drama, mystery, or science fiction?
A comedy.
Who's the most famous person you've ever met?
Oh boy, Martha Stewart.
What's the best concert you've ever attended?
Oh my gosh, Bruce Springsteen. Every day, all day.
Would you prefer to go camping or chill out at a resort?
Resort.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Are you a dog or cat person?
Oh, I love them both.
What's your favorite type of cuisine?
Gourmet.
What's your favorite snack food?
Potato chips.
If you could have a dinner with a famous person, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ina Garten.
Name one thing you can't live without.
Diet Coke. Coke Zero. Coke Zero.
What's the best dish you can cook?
Oh, I cook really good soup.
What's the favorite restaurant you've ever eaten in?
Gramercy Tavern.
What's your favorite restaurant in Spartanburg?
Poke Nori.
What is your most asked for recipe?
Oh, pumpkin pound cake.
Time's up. You have completed the lightning round. Congratulations. You have earned a fist bump.
Woo! And I did it the whole time, and I
Yeah.
changed directions.
I worried about your shoulder.
Huh?
So you said you had shoulder problems.
Yeah, that was actually okay. I should probably
Cool.
do some more.
Kim, thank you so much for allowing me in your home, in your world famous kitchen. We made some delicious cookies here. You've got me out of my comfort zone. Again, thank you. This has been fantastic. You've shared some valuable knowledge and information to us all. We appreciate that. Any last parting words for any upcomer bakers or anything?
Truly, take the risk rather than live with regret.
And
I think that is just advice for everybody all the time.
I was going to say that goes with anybody. That's what we're about. Take the risk. It's better than the regret.
And see
Again,
what happens.
See what happens. See what happens. Life is awful short, and we want to live it to the fullest. Thank you, Kim,
Thank
so
you,
much,
Justin. I
and
appreciate it.
hopefully we can do this again sometime.
Heck yeah! In a different kitchen. It'll look different next
I
time.
think this is great here, but this is All Elite Talk. I'm Justin Rollins. That's the man behind the camera, Jose, and this is the world famous Kim Nelson. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
The phenomenon, the gold standard, 600 calories, the mystery's gone. We the ones, we the elite, all elite training by Justin Rollins. The revolution, join the revolution elite. Tony gonna terminate, Skylar taking over, gone absolute boss. The revolution, join the revolution elite. All elite. Gibson is going to absolute failure. Jose taking it next level, Kate keeping it real. Big one at Barnett making history. The next level, we made the level. One-on-one, we the ones, we elite. Austin is the future, elite is the now. Justin Rollins and the best of the best there is, there was, there ever will be. Dawn, Gibson, Tony, Skylar, Jose, Austin, Martha, Justin.